Welcome to another episode of the Trailblazers podcast, where we explore the journeys of men who had chosen to lead and live their lives on a different path. I'm your host, William Walker, and today we're stepping off the beaten path to talk about lessons from the trails, some of the lessons that I've learned from the trails. But here at Trailblazers, we always celebrate the spirit of those who dare to walk their own path, much like Jesus did. And I say most of my intros that Jesus was a trailblazer as well, the ultimate trailblazer. His example of leading with purpose, courage, and unwavering commitment has inspired us to forge our own trails in life and in all areas of our life, actually, professionally and personally. But today I wanted to dive into the profound benefits, or really just the benefits of spending time on a trail, both mentally and physically. Spending time on a trail has been a huge part of my journey, both in fitness, but also in my leadership coaching consulting company, which I have, Walker Coaching. And it's been pivotal in that. It's brought me both, not just put me out in nature, and just the way it's been able to ground me, but it's also given me clarity and peace when I'm able to spend time out on the trail, whether it's hiking or backpacking or rucking or running or just going for a walk. That time on the trail is, it's powerful. It really helps open up your mind and your ability to talk and listen to your thoughts. For me, talk to God a lot of times and just kind of hear from Him. It allows me a time to slow down from the fast pace of the world that I live in and work in on a regular basis. And so you find it, I know I find it easier to reflect when I'm in those spaces. I can find my center and really connect with my mission, who I'm supposed to be serving and thinking about that. So I wanted to get into some of those benefits today and kind of share my thoughts on that, both mentally and physically, what those benefits are, and kind of challenge you to spend some time in and on the trails. In my leadership coaching consulting company, we have my partner and I, my buddy and I, we wrote a book called The Trail Markers. And this trail markers came from us seeing and identifying that there were different markers on the trail that kind of kept us moving in the right direction, going down the right path. And so we wrote a book called The Trail Markers because we believe that just like on the trail, life has markers that help us keep us on the right path. And so, what I found is one of the middle benefits of really spending time on the trail is it allows me the ability to disconnect from our daily stresses, from technology and distractions. I find it a lot of times I'll even put earbuds in just so I don't hear anything. I can just kind of hear the footsteps on the leaves or the sticks that I'm stepping on when I'm running or I'm walking out in the woods. Or I'll leave my phone in the car and I won't take anything out, and I'll just go out there and it'll just be me and nature and just really unplug there. It creates a space of mindfulness that can lead to my reduced anxiety depending on what's going on. And I'm not saying I carry around a bunch of anxiety, but I have found that even when I'm at work, that if I can just take 5 minutes and go for a walk, like it'll reduce the amount of anxiety or frustration I may be feeling about a problem I can't solve. And next thing I know, I start having clarity, and all these things start happening. The dopamine starts hitting in your mind because you're able to just disconnect and kind of come back around. It gives you, it improves my mood. It definitely, I'll come home from a run and my wife she's like, leave me alone. Because I'm in such a good mood and I'm happy and I'm filled with joy because I've just been able to kind of shed all the struggles and the stress that I may be carrying around from the day, from those moments, And then there's this level of rhythm while you're out here on the trails. I know for me, after spending many years, spending some time in the Marine Corps, even now I find myself when I run that I'll run to a cadence. And when you're running in the trails, running on the woods, a lot of times you can start making, you'll hear the noises of you running and you'll create this cadence. And so there's this rhythm that you can kind of get in a left to right, left to right, left to right. And it's this beautiful, just relaxing count that really helps. The sound of your footprints. I love that sound. I know I've produced some videos and stuff like that. But it's important to spend that time out in the wilderness. I read a book about a year ago called Comfort Crisis. And the guy was talking about how just the idea of how the mind sees a tree, it creates a space of relaxation in you, from seeing the trunk to the leaves, all the way down to the stems and the branches. Like all those layers create this level of relaxation of calmingness into your brain. I don't even quite understand it, but I know it's true because I'll just go outside and I'll sit sometimes and just stare into the trees. But it's not just about the mental aspect. There is definitely a physical aspect of being able to spend time, out in the woods. It's a form of regular exercise, both cardiovascular, for my cardiovascular health. But when I ruck, I'm carrying a weight on my back. It builds the strength in my muscles. It helps me increase my endurance. It gives me this remarkable ability to enhance other abilities in other areas of my life because I'm able to push through that struggle, push through that extra mile, push through up that hill. Sometimes I'll be out there and I'll be running and I'll see that there's this big hill and I can go up and I'll just do it. Like, for no other reason other than the fact that I just want to push myself and get a little bit stronger and just grow that physical aspect of my body and my day. Because a lot of times we don't. And what's neat is the things that happen when you're able to do that is that it actually produces this resiliency inside of you that allows you to know that, hey, I can do it. I can make it to the top of that hill. Yeah, I may have to slow down. That's okay. But you went and you pushed and you tried and you did. And for me, that's been part of this big journey is it's not only the physical strength that I've gained and the mental clarity that I've gained, but there's also been this confidence that came from spending time on the trail, both backpacking and rucking and running on these trails, that is so beneficial to you. Like, I don't think enough of us realize, I know that everybody I talk to, they love spending time outside, right? Most people I know, they love spending time outside. But I don't think we really realize the true benefits of what can happen if we were just to go every day and go for an hour, 30-minute walk. There's more than enough trails and parks around anywhere you live that you can get out and be part of nature for 30 to 45 minutes. Disconnect, leave your phone in the car, leave your phone, you're gonna be okay, right? And when you do that, you're gonna come back, your mind is gonna be refreshed, your soul is going to become refreshed. It talks in the Bible all the time how Jesus went off on his own into these quiet places, or just went off on his own into the wilderness. This is the same thing. Like, this is embracing the fact that there's this beautiful world that we get to go enjoy and be a part of, that we were told once created to go and rule over, right? And it's beautiful and it's dangerous and exciting and it just awakens all the senses inside of your body. And I know that while I'm out there, I've also learned to overcome challenges, to persist despite how tired I get, right? Sometimes I'll take a break, but a lot of times you can just push through. Later this year, I'm leading a trip. I'm leading an expedition to Africa. I'm taking a group of men. It's still open. We still have some slots available. Not many slots. We have guys signed up already. But we're taking a group of guys to Kenya and to Nairobi, and we're going to climb Mount Longonot, and we're going to talk about resilience. We're going to talk about endurance. We're going to talk about the importance of understanding and what those things play in our roles as men and as leaders, and how we need to do things like get on the trails to hone and sharpen those skills, because they apply in all areas of our lives. I mean, what happens when a challenge arises at work, right? And you're not always exercising. I know there was a time when I can remember when I was super overweight. I hadn't been exercising, hadn't been doing anything, and I didn't believe in myself or didn't believe in my abilities. And I started spending time on the trails. I started getting in a little better shape. I started running or hiking and rucking on these trails. And as I saw myself getting faster, getting better, being less winded and exhausted while I was on these trails, I started believing in myself. And you can believe in yourself by spending that time out there on these trails. And that's these lessons that we've learned. You know, these lessons translate directly into our personal and professional lives, making us more resilient and focused and capable leaders, as husbands, as fathers, as sons, as men, the men we are called to be, not the shadow of men that a lot of us are living in, right? But I also know that for many of us, exercise is more than just a way to stay fit. It's a crucial part of our routine that keeps us sharp and ready to tackle. I know for me, it keeps me ready to tackle whatever comes my way. And it's just become a big part of my normal routine. So I spend time on the trail at least once to twice a week. I have a regular exercise routine that I do on a regular basis, a daily basis. But that time on the trail is literally the special time that I give to myself. It's almost like a reward. But it's also a great place to start. And it's a reminder for me, because it is where I started, was starting on the trail. You know, whether it's a morning run, an evening hike, or, you know, a rigorous, like a ruck. You know, I have an old Alice pack that I wear. It's got a 25-pound steel plate in it. It weighs about 30 pounds altogether. And so I'll do that with myself or with a friend, and it just makes it a little bit harder. You know, you're not quite running, but you're not quite walking. That's why it's called a ruck. It's this in between, but it gets you out there, and it lets you hear the birds sing and hear the sounds of the creek water, you know, running by, and you can hear the squirrels and the different critters. They're scurrying about throughout the woods. You'll hear them as you're running, and you just get to get quiet in your head. And so often in today's world, when we've got social media, we've got cell phones, we've got computers, we've got emails, we've got everything in the world begging for our attention. And when we can get on that trail for 30 minutes to an hour, and the only attention you have to give is, hey, I don't want to trip on a root and bust my face, it's beautiful. You can just disconnect. You can leave it all. You'll feel it literally just shed off of you as you're walking outside, spending that time on the trail. This is so much more than just about your health, and it's about your mental health. You know, I have friends that struggle with that, and one of the things that I know that has been beneficial is me making it an important part of my time during the week is to spend time with them and get them on the trail, because I see the difference when they're struggling. I see the difference when they're not carrying that anxiety and stresses of the world on top of the other things that they carry. And so as we explore, you know, topics like this today, I want you to think about how you can incorporate and bring more time on the trail into your life. How you can use the trail as a place to find mental peace, exercise for your body, exercise for your mind, and not just as a tool to get faster and stronger, but as a tool to get mentally sharper, to become more resilient into the day, to become more confident in who you are, the man, the husband, the father, the leader you were called and created to be. You know, it was on the trails where God revealed my mission to me. It was actually on a trail running a Spartan race. And it was to encourage, challenge, and equip men to be the leaders they're called to be. And it's the lens I live my life through, is how do I help men become the leaders we're called to be the husbands, to be the fathers, to understand who they're on this earth to serve. And I'm not talking like husband, I'm not talking about father. Like those are the roles we play. Like you have a bigger mission in your life. And those roles are part of that mission. Don't get me wrong, they are definitely part of that mission. But you have unique experiences and gifts that are yours and yours alone. And I know for me, when I was able to spend time on the trail, I was able to start unpacking those. I was able to process those things. I was able to get rid of the things that I didn't need to carry anymore. I was able to leave it on the trail and realize that, hey, I am becoming who God created me to be. I am becoming the man that He created me to be. I am on the path. I am on the journey of, 2 Timothy 3:17 says it the best. It says, so that the men of God can be complete and fully equipped to do good work. Well, I am on that path. I'm not done yet. Like I still have a long journey ahead of me and I know it. Lord, do I know it. And that's why I still spend time on the trail, talking with Him and figuring it out. But you can too. So I just want to challenge you to consider how you can incorporate spending some time on the trail, both for your personal, your professional life, for your mental health, for your physical health, for your spiritual health, to grow as a leader and as a man out there. Get out on the trail. See what's out there. Get quiet and listen to it. Let the trail talk to you like it talked to me. I guess that's it for today. I just kind of wanted to go on a little bit of a rant. With that, I want to make sure I give a shout out to what it means to be on the path or be on the trail. Here at the Trailblazer podcast, we are sponsored by Flight Foods Supplements. That is the supplements that I use. They have an amazing protein. They have a cinnamon swirl, which is probably one of my favorites. The Cupertino Cocoa, another one of my favorites. Great. I mean, the cinnamon swirl is like drinking Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk in the morning. The creatine, the pre-workouts, the Bosco Blast is amazing. It's a perfect blend of caffeine and all the other things you need to really get a good pump before you work out. And I hit it every morning. So if you're interested, and you can definitely look them up and find them on Instagram. You can find them. I follow them on Instagram. We'll put a link in my show notes for them. Also, I have a leadership coaching and consulting company called Walker Coaching and Consulting, where I coach men. I coach businesses as well, but my primary focus is to coach men. And I am launching a group called Strength and Strategy, which is all about using physical fitness to grow our confidence as men, and then leveraging the clarity, the mental clarity that comes from the physical fitness to spend time strategically planning out our lives, our days, really laser focused on that. And then building a community of men to help hold us accountable to keep moving forward. Anyway, this is William with the Trailblazers. And remember, being a Trailblazer isn't about making bold moves. It's also about making small, consistent steps, one step at a time, just like on a trail. And take every day to improve ourselves and our lives and the people around us. So don't forget, you can still hit those trails and always stay on them. This is William, and I'm out.